Okay, now I'm going live too.
Hello, everyone out in Facebook world. We're just waiting to go live on Instagram.
And we are live on Instagram right now. Hello, hello, everybody, and welcome to WTF Live, which is Window Treatment Live. Window Treatment Friday. I keep forgetting Window Treatment Friday live episode. And pretty soon I'm going to be joined by my friend and colleague, like I do every week. Kimberly will be here just momentarily.
Okay. Hello, everyone out there in Instagram world. Excuse me, real quick. On
I know it's like no
Facebook.
matter no matter
Yeah,
how much you try to bring down the volume, somehow it,
I
it,
know.
it
It
never
goes
it never
back up
works a hundred
twice.
percent, right?
Right. All right, everybody. Well, welcome to this week's episode number 41 of WTF Live. Before we get started on our topic today, I just want to say my heart goes out to Miss Vita. She is a superwoman. Yes, you are. You are. It's a testament to your character. But Vita, you can go ahead and tell the story what happened to your studio last week after our Facebook Live last Friday.
Yes, how timely. So it was really very shortly after we signed off last Friday, March 5th, that our studio caught on fire. So yes, it was an electrical fire at around 1:30 p.m. on Friday, March 5th. As we were running out of the building, now the good news, of course, is that myself, my staff, everybody, the people are safe.
Mhm.
And as we were running out of the building, the incredibly brave and courageous firefighters were running into the building trying to figure out what was going on. We stood there outside for quite a few hours, watching what they were doing, watching the smoke coming out, watching the flames coming out, watching them work. It was a very scary experience, but it was at that point very unknown. We really didn't know what was happening inside, and we were still holding out hope. And then at probably around four-ish or so, we were able to get back in where we saw firsthand the pretty much total devastation. Everything we had inside was either smoldered or charred or burnt or damaged with water in every which way, just because the people who were saving us and everything else needed to do what they needed to do. So needless to say, everything had and the reality as we knew it as of 1:30 on Friday, March 5th is no longer. And we've been living and grappling with this reality for the past week or so. The good news, of course, and that's what I keep coming back to over and over in my head and being thankful and grateful for, is that my people are okay and I'm okay. My husband was there at the studio at the same time as well, and he's okay too. And there was even a scary moment there. But everybody is safe, and that's the most important part. And right now, it's the beginning of the rebuilding process and trying to either save what we think is lost or reorder what is definitely lost. Right after the realization fully set in about what has happened and what the new reality might look like, really all of us went into action mode, trying to salvage whatever we could on that day. And then over the weekend, even going back and trying to salvage even more of what we could. And then keeping on with that action mode, we pivoted and set up shop, if you will, right here at my house where I am coming to you from. Just like when we started, Kim, we started this during COVID and it was right here, in the background. This is my home office. So I've moved all of my staff here. I've moved my workroom here. We've set up temporary space inside my house here. So everybody is safe, number one, and number two, everybody is operational. So within just a few days, we were able to have everything back on all of our customers, all of our orders, all of the fabrication, whatever supplies we could salvage. So as of Monday, we were completely operational in the offices, and with a few electrical things that we had to do in terms of setting up the new workroom, my seamster Boris is now operational as well. Another thing that I did right away was contact our clients. And for us, as you know, we work exclusively with interior designers.
Hmm.
So I spent the whole weekend calling essentially to have the voice to voice, I should say, conversations with those designers with whom we had active projects. So they were in the know from me personally over the weekend. And then on Monday is when we went public with it on social media, Instagram, Facebook, business page, personal page, LinkedIn. And the amount of support, the outpouring of support and love is something I don't think I've ever felt in my whole life. I've never had to experience a crisis like this ever in my
Hmm.
whole life. So the flowers that you're seeing behind me, that's just a small smattering of the type of support and love, encouragement, amazing, beautiful words that I'm hearing from everybody around me. And I'm trying to pass it on to my people and hold everybody strong up here. So you guys, that's what you're doing. That's how, everybody's asking, what can I do? How can I help? And the best thing that you can do is send good energy our way. Please send good vibes. Please send your love. Please hold us in your thoughts, in your hearts, in your prayers. Whichever way you connect to Source, please hold us up in the light and send some good juju our way because we certainly need it. And so this week has been spent reordering everything that we have lost.
Hmm.
And it's a lot. Our months of January, February, and March year to date have been some of the biggest months we've ever had in the 15-year of Italia Inc. history. So one can only imagine the type of inventory that it takes to have that, of course, as life or universe would have it. I'm not sure. So we're in the process of reordering all the hardware that we had, all the hard goods that we had. Um, I tallied, and it's 84 fabrics that we have to reorder from 10 different vendors, and all of that needs to be replaced. All those are individual orders. So the scope of work to not replenish, but to reorder,
Hmm.
to have what we've had there on March 5th is quite a lot. So we're in the midst of all of that. The good thing is that our spirits are high. We are in this action mode is the only way I know how to put it. It is one foot in front of the other, and we're operating at our highest good at the moment. It's a concept that I was just sharing with my staff yesterday. It is not about creating long lists or long plans of action because they may feel overwhelming and like too much and insurmountable. And that's not what this is about. It's very easy to get overwhelmed like this, especially during the time of crisis. So the
Hmm.
most important thing is to see the next immediate task to get it done and then follow on to the next immediate task. So short of any kind of big plans, we are doing what is immediately on our docket, and that is replacing what we have, rebuilding what we've had, and that is redoing our fabrication schedule, redoing our installation schedule, and ultimately keeping in mind and keeping in communication with our clients so that they can feel assured that we still have their back, because that's what
Hmm.
ultimately Italia Inc. is all about. We are about that VIP concierge level service for our interior designers where they feel like that we have their back at all times. And even at this time of crisis, we still have their back. I mean, of course, everything is our responsibility to reorder and replenish and restock, and that's what we're doing. And we figured another couple of weeks to be where we were on March 5th. And then it's off to the races, just like we were before March 5th. So it's going to be business as usual. So that's the update in the nutshell.
Well, I wish that I could give you a real hug. So I'm sending you a virtual hug here from New Jersey. But I mean, I meant what I said when I started off the episode by saying that you are a superwoman, because I don't know how many people that this the whole situation could have happened to, and they would be up and running that quickly on Monday. Like it was just, that just shows your commitment and your drive to your clients, to the design community, to the window treatment community. So my hat goes off to you, Vita, that you were able to kind of make a satellite workroom within 2 days of this happening and just heading off to the races. So everyone, this is a great example of, you have to do what you have to do when things like this happen, when WTF moments happen, because this is a big one. And so, so I feel my heart goes out to you, because I couldn't even imagine what that felt like. Just all the hard work, it's just so symbolic of a lot of things, just not only the projects, but all the energy it took to get the studio, and it's a lot. So
And also the commitment to my
yeah,
people here,
yeah,
because without them, none of this, would be
exactly.
happening. There's no way I could have done this by myself. It is my window treatment specialist,
Yes.
Beata, who is actually right here, right next to me.
Hi, Beata.
Who Lisa, our general manager,
Mhm.
who is just across the hall over there. Boris, our seamster, who is over there fabricating away. To my husband, who was there 100% of the time. To
Mhm.
friends and neighbors who helped us move things. So there's no way that anyone can do this on their own. It's everybody who really stepped in,
Yeah.
stepped up, really showed the commitment, and really showed their colors. So I'm eternally grateful to everyone around me.
So, alrighty, guys. So today we're gonna have just a little mini episode, because, as Vita's saying, her example of Monday, we must persevere and power on. So today we are going to be talking about shears and how you can use sheer fabrics in your window treatments.
Um, there's another little WTF moment, and anybody who has seen us on Instagram for the last couple of weeks
Oh,
have
yes,
noticed it,
that's
right?
right. I forgot about this.
So, so here's the thing. Here's a lesson to us all. We think we have this business model based on Instagram or Facebook or any other social media
Hmm.
out there. And of course, we hear from so many experts who say we don't know how the algorithm's going to change.
Hmm.
We don't know what they're going to do from one day to the next. Well, here's what Instagram is doing. They are no longer allowing us to share pictures if you have more than one person on the live.
Live.
So there's no way that we can, the whole idea of Window Treatment Friday Live edition is that so that we can show you visuals of everything that we're talking about.
Hmm.
If Kim and I are here together, it no longer allows us to do that. So for the time being, we are going to sign off of Instagram, and we're
Hmm.
going to continue our initiative on Facebook. So please, if you're so inclined and if you're able, please head on over to Facebook to the Window Works'
Yes.
business page where this is transmitted from, and then ultimately it will be put onto the Vitalia Inc. business page as well. And then we will try to find a way to put it into our IGTV,
TV.
Instagram TV, where you can still get all of this information. There's a ton of really good information about
Hmm.
window treatments and inspiration in terms of projects and images that you can use in your own project. So it will be housed on Additionally, we'll be housed on the cloud on our own
Hmm.
servers, but additionally, we'll also be housed on Instagram and other social media, so you can always have access to it there.
Alrighty, everybody. So,
But for the time being, we're signing off. Thanks so much, and have a great weekend, Instagram friends. We'll see you on Facebook, and we will continue on Facebook.
yeah, so meet us on over on Facebook. Thanks, guys.
All right, and
Okay.
so moving on with
So
Facebook and moving
here
on
we
with window
are.
treatments because the show must go on.
Yes, yes. Okay. So this week, like I said before, we will be talking about shears. So take it away, Vita.
Let's see. Let's see what our first project is here. And it's yours, so you take it away.
Yes. Okay. So this project is actually a dining room project, and this is for this client is lives in a townhouse. So this dining room faces kind of their neighbor across the way of the townhome development, and so the level of privacy that they needed, it's not such a high traffic area, this room, so they needed coverage, but not 100% privacy. So that's when shears work really well, and it all depends on the weave and how open the weave is and how opaque. So for here, we did a ceiling mounted decorative traverse rod. It is baton draw, and the
Okay.
reason why we went for the windows go up. So the windows are almost to the molding almost touches the ceiling there. So to do it, any kind of like decorative rod, there wasn't enough space between the top of the ceiling and or the bottom of the ceiling and the molding. So that's
Mhm.
what we did there. And yeah, we just did a nice inverted French pleat or Euro pleat or tack top pleat, depending on, how you
Whatever you want to
call
call it.
whatever you want to call it, potato kind of thing. And yeah, I believe this is a Stroheim fabric. And with the shears, sometimes what we like to do, typically we have that 4-inch double turn bottom hem. But with shears, this one already came with a Euro hem sewn in the bottom. So that's a weighted chain that's sewn in. And we just decided to kind of keep that in because we wanted to have it just be really clean, really simple, and really sleek.
Very nice. And it's hard to tell from the picture, Kim, but I'm sure there's a natural question in my
Mhm.
mind is how much can you see out? How much can you see in?
So, so the amount that you can see out during the day, I always like to say, however much you can see out during the day is how much people can see in at night
That's what I usually say as well. That's a good rule of
when the
thumb.
lights are on. So there is no, Harry Potter wand. There isn't any magic that Vita and I can do that because you can see out during the day, you're 100% private at night. So these are the kinds of conversations that you need to have with your clients. So this year we happen to do unlined because this dining room is its own section of the home, so there isn't any type of kitchen or anything or any walk-through space. So this client opted to go for an unlined shear because there isn't that much traffic in terms of they're just really looking at their neighbor across the courtyard. So that's why we had the opportunity to go with an unlined shear here.
Very nice. Very nice. Good
Thank
job.
you.
Window works. Okay, so
Ooh.
I wanted to show one of projects of ours. It was a recent project. This is actually a sales office for a local builder called Judd Builders for a development called Spring Mill. Anybody watching from Bucks County knows that it's right next to Costco. There's a landmark, right? Anyway, so this is a sales office in a new community, happens
Mhm,
to be a townhome community. Most of us know that townhomes are often, the garages of the townhomes are often converted to sales
mhm,
offices. So that's essentially what this is. You can also see that these shears look like they're floating.
mhm,
And what allows this to happen is there's a pocket inside the ceiling. So before, if you're ever in the situation where you have new construction and you are specifying like a wall-to-wall drapery like that, be that cheers or anything else, and you want to have this floated look, please know that that's one of the options that you have available, and you can mount it kind of inside the ceiling, inside that pocket, where you don't have to deal with decorative hardware or a million of other little
mhm,
details, and where you can actually put it inside like that and have that floated look. So the distinction here between this project and what Kim just showed, so if I can show you real quick. So this was hers and this is mine. They're very similar. You have the wall-to-wall shears and you have like this look uh, of a sheer drapery kind of
mhm,
taking up in that whole real estate. There's slight difference besides the hardware that I mentioned. Another difference here is the type of the header.
mhm,
So Kim told you that she used a pleat. So double or triple tack, whatever you want. That's a pleat. Another header that you can have, especially on shears and especially on wall-to-wall type treatments, is a ripple fold, which is what this is. And Kim and I did do a whole really
mhm,
content-driven, juicy episode on ripple folds and when to do it, how to do it, when it's appropriate, when it's not. So here's one of the examples where it is entirely appropriate and looks really great, looks
mhm.
sleek and modern, especially hidden there inside the ceiling pocket like that. So just another example of how you guys can use wall-to-wall shears.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Now, is the big panel a center open and then the one on the side just a single panel?
So in this particular, it could have been. It's
Hmm.
not in this
Okay.
case because they were never going to use it.
Okay.
The spec from the designer, and by the way, the designer for this is Gasig Design Group,
Hmm.
local designer here in Pennsylvania, Bucks County, New Hope based, very talented design group. Richard Gasig is the principal and owner, and he has a staff of, I believe, about 5 people or so. Lovely, beautiful, talented designers that we get to work with every day. They do a lot of model homes, and this was spec'd by them. So because it is a sales office and it was never really going to be used, this
Hmm.
wasn't a center draw. This was just the big panel went off to the left and the
Hmm.
little panel went off to the right.
Yeah.
But we could have done it that way too,
Yeah.
Kim, to your point, anybody watching, you do have the option of doing what's called a center draw, which means that the big panel separates in the center and moves off to the two sides.
Yeah. Nice.
All right, moving on.
Okay. So this project that we did, this was done for Charles Pavarini of Pavarini Designs. This was for a client. He's based out of New York, and this was for a client that he had here in New Jersey. This was for a tweens bathroom, and that he wanted to do something light and airy in this window is mounted on a board, so kind of follow the arch of the window. And because it is a sheer, we opted to line it so that this
Mm,
way you can have your privacy. And I know a lot of times some people can think that it could be a little taboo to line a sheer, but sometimes you get those really pretty embroidered shears and you want to use it in a situation like this, in a window like this, but you need the privacy because it's a bathroom. So it is okay to line it. So you do get that privacy element. Sometimes, depending on the fabric, we will line shears in a batiste or a voile sheer, or even just we do have another liner that's it's about like 80% private. So it all depends on the level of privacy you need, but there's different ways. So this is what I wanted to show: A, how to dress a arch window, another way of doing it, and B, to show you that you can do a sheer with a liner on it to kind of reach that look that you want to achieve.
And so interestingly, yeah, with the liner, what happens is it really changes
Mm-hmm.
the look, the pattern on the
Right.
sheer. So with the light coming through, it's much more gauzy and airy. With with the liner, you can see, like, if it's an embroidery or any kind of pattern on a sheer, you can really see it in a much different way than without it. So
Yeah.
so I would say don't be afraid to add a liner. At
No.
least don't be afraid to experiment as you're working with your memo samples and swatches. Put a little piece of liner or a white piece of paper sometimes, and that way you will know right away how the sheer look
Hmm.
changes.
And I always like to have like little different. I always either, especially when I'm working with designers and they're unsure, I will cut a piece of different sheer liners that we have, so that
Hmm.
this way they can hold them up. And don't be afraid to hold it up to the window, because that's when you're really going to know. I always say tape it up to the window to really get a feel for what it's going to be. I think we have a question here from Maria.
Hmm.
Okay, she said, I wish I can add a picture, but I'm stumped with this client. She has a beachfront. She has a slider and a large window upstairs, but the ceiling angle down meets the trim on both sides. So if I put a rod above or larger than the trim, we wanted to use Norman Smart drape. She has a ton of windows in the house. Also needs to be done on budget. It's an issue.
Well, I mean, there to me, like as I read this, so she has a really weird situation and a
Uh-huh.
really weird window, and then the next thing that is
The
as
B
part of the
word.
spec is the budget. I mean,
The
that
B
just
word.
I'm sorry, that
I
just does
know.
not go together. It really doesn't. I mean, anytime you have a truly, I mean, let's be real. Oh my gosh, I sound like Luann. Let's be real. uh, um, we're in the world in the context of custom window treatment. So right there, anything in our world has a certain budget attached to it, right?
Hmm.
And I don't use the word budget as in like cheap and
Hmm.
economical. I mean, we're in the world of custom window treatments. But if you take this world of custom window treatments and elevate it even higher to like a super custom situation, well, right there and then, I mean, I'm thinking even just the thinking in terms of budget and saving money and um, nickeling pennies would probably not go in the same paragraph for me. But I hear you, Maria, that a lot of times customers want that, and they certainly ask us of that. And I know that we've been in situations, I know, Kim, you have been as well, where we have to educate them as to what is involved in making a truly, truly custom product happen. So.
Maria, if you want, you could DM us or email us the picture, and maybe we can kind of talk you through some quick things, and so that way we can kind of help you out that way. I mean, it when it's a weird window and you're dealing with anytime you add an angle or any kind of curve, you're just adding, like to Vita's point, a couple of dollar bills to the project. But there,
I think there is a way on Facebook. There's definitely a way to add a picture.
yeah, you know
So
what? Maybe in the comments.
definitely in the
Yeah,
comments
in
for
the
sure.
comments. Yeah.
Mhm.
So try doing that. So this way
Yeah, I would
maybe
love to help you out, of
we could
course.
look at it and be like, oh, use this kind of non-deco rod and push the shear above it so you won't see the rod when it's closed. Yeah, there's ways to do it.
But you're right, Kim. Without seeing a picture here, and Maria, and I know you felt that way too. Without seeing a picture in this particular situation, it's really hard to give
The
any kind of
mount is the issue.
advice.
Yeah, show it to us. And if Bill is coming back, our installers were down in Wilmington, North Carolina this week installing a job. So if there's anyone that can figure out a mounting issue, it would be Billy.
Moving on.
Yeah.
All right. So we showed you the first two pictures were kind of like the wall of drapery,
Mm-hmm.
of sheer drapery, and then Kim showed you the smaller window with the special top and how that can be treated. Well, I wanted to show an example where you can have shears or sheer fabric used as stationary panels on each side of the window as if it were any other fabric, any other solid or pattern
Mm-hmm.
or 54-inch goods or 118-inch goods, whatever it is. It's just, it's the look that you're going for. And in this situation, you can see that this is a very traditional environment, very traditional living room with really super cool furniture. And the designer here did not want to go for that traditional, maybe heavy look in the draperies,
Mm-hmm.
which is what I think one would expect. But here, actually, you know what? I just realized this is for Gasig Design Group as well. Two completely different projects and different looks, different customers. But here, what I really commend Richard and his team on is that they decided to go for a much lighter look to not accentuate this traditional environment, but to elevate it and make it much lighter than what it could have been otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they did a really good job. Now, interestingly, the hardware, this was an existing hardware
Mm-hmm.
from those heavy drapes. They kept the hardware. So it is that big, chunky, kind of like a 2-inch, maybe even a 2 1/4
Mm-hmm.
inch rod with big, chunky rings. And interestingly, here, I don't mind it because it almost pays homage to the traditional environment on the bottom of the room. It
Mm-hmm.
kind of meets it at the top, but what's in the center is a light and airy and much gauzier type of fabric.
Yeah, and I like the look of using the shears, whether it's in a situation like this, whether they're stationary or operable. To your point, there's a lot going on. You have the velvet fabric, you have the rug that has a lot happening there. So sometimes it's nice to play with textures in this space, and that's why I love using shears in this situation to kind of, to your point, make it feel airy and breezy.
Yeah. And Maria, I do see your comment. Usually you cannot picture, but maybe because we're live. You're probably
Yeah.
right. I didn't even think about that. So, when we get off and the
We'll,
live video ends, I hopefully it will, hopefully Facebook will let you.
we'll cooperate.
And right. Hopefully it'll cooperate and would love to help you that way. But
Yeah.
yeah, for sure, I would love to see what that situation is.
Yeah.
I'm always up for a challenge.
I I have a challenging window that I'm dealing with right now, so an
Every
architecture.
day, Kim, there's a
Every
challenging window every day in our vocabulary.
I walked in on the consultation yesterday. I walked in and I didn't even realize I said it out loud. It was one of those, like, it was in my head and it was like, oh, it came out. I was like, woof. And the designer started laughing. She was like, I know. She's like, I didn't design this window. She's like, this happened before I got involved. She goes, but what can we do? And I'm like, okay, I need a minute.
Right.
Hey Gina, it's okay.
Oh, Gina, hi.
All right, everyone. Well, that's our episode. Today, our little mini episode on shears. Next week, we'll be back with our full time episodes here. But in any case, if you are new to the window treatment game and you want to, we have a free goodie on our website, the WindowWorks website. Luann wrote a book, Architectural Digest Isn't Coming 10 Things You Need to Know About Custom Window Treatments. It's basically like a little window treatments 101. So if you're new to window treatments and you want to kind of get a little mini tutorial, download this ebook.
And from Vitalia Inc., we also have a free goodie for you. It's called 37 and a half window treatment ideas for you to swipe, steal, and use immediately on your project. You can grab yours at vitaliainc.com and use it as inspiration library or just as somebody to show your clients as possibilities and ideas to use. So next time you see a window and you go, what can I do there? You can page through it and hopefully come up with an option that will work for you.
And to keep up with all things Miss Luann, because she has a lot of stuff happening, and to listen to the audio version of WTF, head on over to Luann's website.
LuannAguilar.com.
I'm sorry, it is Friday. It has been a long week.
Girl.
It
feels like a year. Can I tell you, from last Friday to this Friday, I feel like a whole year passed.
Yeah.
It could be one day, like one big run-on day, and it might as well have been a year.
Yeah, no. So excuse us, because it's been a long week for me too. It's been a little just
No worries. All good.
Anywho, but to keep up with Luann, make sure you follow her on Instagram at Luann Nigara and her website where you can get her podcast and all information and events that she is going to be part of at luannigara.com.
And Luann actually just recently dropped an episode that she and I did on scaling a window treatment business.
Ooh.
So in it was a really great one, if I may say so myself. 5 pillars to grow and scale your window treatment business. And I really highly recommend you listen, because I give away a lot of the things that I do in the background. And of course, back then, nobody could have predicted the fire, but I can tell you what's really getting us through it, I think, and moving us forward is a lot of the systems and processes and things that we have set up before it. And now we can just move forward with our business as if nothing has happened. And it is those practices that we've set up in place that are allowing us to not miss a beat. So you definitely want to give it a listen. And then next week, Luann and I are recording another episode where I will be going into a lot more detail about what happened and what we did right after the fire and what we're doing this whole week, and going into some of those systems and processes that I had set in place, and also some of the lessons that I'm experiencing in real life as we live right now, as every day goes by. But ultimately, it is going to be, it's another testament to what you have to have set in place for a time of crisis, because we never know when it's going to hit. But hopefully it doesn't. I sure don't wish this upon anybody, but statistically it probably will, or it might. And the most important thing is to be prepared. So I will be sharing some of my own experiences and lessons learned.
Yeah, because of your experience, I have couple things that I want to talk to Luann about, like Aaron. I always joked, I said, in case of a fire, I'm going to grab everything in this file. And then after what happened to you, I said, actually, I'm not going to grab things in that file. I'm going to go for that file instead. So it's a whole,
and it's like you think, oh, in case of a fire, right? Oh, in case of emergency. And it sounds so canned and so made up. Like it's not real. It's not going to happen to us. That never happens. I mean, who would have thunk?
Yeah.
It's very real.
Yeah.
So brings on a whole new meaning.
Yes. Okay. And to keep up with everything WindowWorks, please follow us here on Facebook and also on Instagram at WindowWorks. If you are in the New Jersey or New York area and you need help with a window treatment or awning project, please give us a call. We'd like to help you hammer out all the details. We take out all the guesswork for you. We are equipped with a whole team of installers here to kind of bring your project from, you know, design into real life.
And if you're in the Philadelphia area, please consider giving us a call if you are looking for support with window treatments. And like I started this episode, a lot of people are asking us what can they do to support us, to help us. And flowers are definitely helpful, but please no, I'm not asking for that at all. Um, Although it does cheer us up, your good energy and your good vibes, your good wishes, that's certainly a huge help. But then specifically another thing, if you have a project, if you're in the Philadelphia area and have a project and you've been thinking about contacting us, I don't want anybody to think that we are too busy right now, or we have enough going on, or that it's too overwhelming, or maybe they don't have like their stuff set up yet. So I want to assure you with 100% confidence that we are fully set up, we're fully operational. We are working harder than ever, and we would love to, just like 7 days ago, just like last Friday, we were able and willing and capable. We are in the exact same position right now. So if you've been thinking of a project, you've been thinking about giving us a call, now is better than ever.
Yes. Alrighty, everyone. Well, thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. And we will see you next Friday. Because
We'll
if
see you
it's
next Friday.
bye, everyone.
Because no, we have to go there.
Because if it's Friday,
It's Window Treatment Friday Live, WTF Live.
bye,
Have a great
everyone.
weekend, everybody.
Good vibes to all.
Thank you.